thank you for joining us.
No problem.
And well, you're on tour right now, and I was wondering, just before you go on stage, if you have any special thoughts or rituals, or what you do.
We have one ritual that all of us do, which is we try to clap as one. So we stand in a circle, and my tour manager says, go, and we all have to clap at the same time, and it has to sound like one sound. And our goal is to do it on the first one, but I mean, we haven't done that yet. It's always 3 times, so almost. My personal ritual is, I have this thing where I need to tell myself to be in every single song. Like, I have to remember that, because there is a huge production and there's so much to think about, that sometimes I tend to forget that what I'm singing about, and I need to always like get myself into that place. And after I've decided to do that before show, it usually happens, where I'm like, because the best thing in the world is when I sing a song and I also am kind of in the exact words that I'm singing right there. It's not automatic, you know? Like, it actually is something I'm experiencing there and then, and listening to my own words.
When you're on stage, you share the music with a lot of people you don't know, and can that sort of be an intimidating feeling, to share your thoughts that are so personal?
No, I think it's important. It's my thing, you know. It's who I am in general. So it would be weird for me to try to behave on stage. Like, it's just me. If I've learned something, I would like to give that away and tell those things. But a journalist yesterday asked me if after reading my lyrics or hearing my music, if we know you now, and I said no, because this is just something that I choose to give away, but who I am is, I mean, it's so much more complicated than that. So I don't feel like people really know me. They know parts of me, and they know whatever I want them to know, but in general, I still have a little sense of, privacy.
Right. And when you finish with a song after you wrote it, and you present it to a person for the first time, how do you tackle that, or are you sort of happy to get it over with, or to show it to somebody, or is it sort of scary?
It depends on the song. Sometimes it's really scary, and until now I've been very dependent on having a producer that I trust. Like, I've not yet have like a random producer that just gets the song and produces it and goes on with his life. I need to have like a personal connection, because some of the songs are very raw, you know, and especially when I write it, I usually am also in that moment. It takes about a year or 2 for me to write for you to hear it. So I have that time to kind of get used to the thought of giving it away, you know? And I need that time. I need that year to be able to give it to you guys.
Right. And what would you say is then more scary, to sing a song in front of one person or in front of a whole crowd?
One person is more scary, definitely.
And why?
I don't know, you feel like you are a part of this huge machine when you're on stage. I feel I can almost kind of compare it to, I skydived once, but I did a tandem jump. And I feel like when I present it to one person, I feel like I'm jumping alone. But when I'm on stage with my band, I feel like we're jumping together, so it doesn't feel that scary.
That makes sense. And when you write your songs, do you still write them with pen and paper, or have you gone over
I've gone over to Mac, unfortunately. I mean, I still have, in my attic, I still have boxes of paper that I've had since I was young. But yeah, it's faster. It's faster, and you get to think faster, and you know, the technology, just, you can't deny it. It is better.
Do you sometimes miss that nostalgic feeling of
I
just
do.
writing?
I do. I miss. Someone told me that handwriting is like, it's gonna go out of. People are gonna stop having signature handwriting. Handwriting is getting out of. It's disappearing because of machines. I remember spending a lot of time practicing my handwriting. So I do sometimes write notes or poetry like that.
Well, you've been doing quite well lately, you know, releasing in different countries you haven't released in a while, and maybe haven't released before, and touring as well. And how does it feel to know that people like to listen to your music all over the world and appreciate it?
It feels really good. I mean, this record, which I knew was going to happen, it sold less than the other ones. But what I find very reassuring is that this is our 5th German tour. 5th. And we went from playing in front of 20 people to now a couple of thousand every evening. And I believe that that's word of mouth. I believe that people come because they enjoyed the last show, or they heard from someone else that it's good, you know? So this is my goal in life and in my career, is that I'm not dependent on having a smash hit, because I make records for the record. I don't make singles just to become on the radio. It doesn't work like that for me. And so I hope that I can grow with this and continue to release records that I think are good and play for people who enjoy our show without having that huge machine around it, you know?
Do you think that's maybe also one of your secrets why it's been going so well for so long, that you know, put your effort into the whole record instead of maybe just one song?
I think so, because I mean, you can tell when people have a single and they just make an album. You can. When you hear songs, you're like, oh, this is album material. This is not interesting. I try to tell stories in every single song that are lessons that I've learned, or thoughts I've had, or things that I find very important to talk about. And yeah, and I think my listeners continue that thought, if you know what I mean. I think that when they sit down and they hear the album, I've heard people say it triggers, oh, I've never thought of it like that, or this happened to me as well, you know? So it makes me feel less lonely as well. It makes me feel like I'm not alone out there.
Right. And well, you've been in the industry for quite some time, and you have gotten around quite a lot. And what will you say you've learned from your experiences in the music and entertainment industry?
I think I've learned what I said is I've learned what I want. I want a career where I can have a steady connection with my listeners. I do not want to become a superstar. I was on the fast track to that. I've seen the American lifestyle and what can happen to you and what you are offered if you sell millions of records. And I chose not to do that, because that also means that you need to forego your life. And I really appreciate, I think that being able to live my life during the years when I take time off and I'm not in the limelight is the reason why I can make records. So what I've learned is to follow my gut feeling, even if you do have a record company that says, you know, but we need to sell records, to continue to say, but I will. You can sell as much as you want, but I will continue to make these records. So you either get with my program or you get off, you know?
Is it then also important to learn to say no sometimes?
Definitely. And it's hard. I think it's hard. It was hard for me as a young girl because I wanted to be liked, you know? It was very important for me that people liked me. And to say no is a negative thing. But I've learned that saying no now, it prevents a lot of problems in the future. Actually having a clear voice saying, I can't do that.
Also, there seems to be, like you've already talked about, a lot of pressure from the outside maybe, and maybe also pressure you put on yourself. Is there a special way you're dealing with it, or has it also maybe changed over the years and how you deal with that pressure? Yeah.
It's ever changing. I don't think people, like I think people have a very like sort of different view of people who are a little bit famous. I'm not saying that I'm famous, but a little bit known. That you're sheltered in a way, or that you don't get sad if someone says something bad about you, or, you know. And I'm still that girl. I still get hurt. I get hurt by when I read a bad critique. I get hurt when a fan is mean to me, or like it hurts. And the pressure of dealing with this industry is that there is a machine behind me. There is a huge team of people, but I'm the person that has to get the blame if something goes wrong, because it's my face and and that's huge pressure. But as long as I'm able to be completely myself, I can deal with that. If someone asked me to do something that wasn't natural to me, then I would think I would become sick again. But because I get to be myself completely, I think that's what drives at me. And also, to be honest with you, knowing I can actually stop whenever I want to. Just knowing, I'm not going to do that, but knowing that it's up to me. No one's pressuring me into doing something I don't want to do. That should be good for you guys as well, and knowing that I choose to be on tour, and this is something I really enjoy, and I'm not doing this because anyone's pressuring me. I'm doing it because I love it.
I think that definitely also shows.
Oh, good.
On stage. Yeah, I mean, I think that was about
Yeah.
it. Is there anything maybe you want to say?
I'm saying, because this is the fan club,
Yeah.
saying that I really appreciate everybody's support. I do, and yeah, I'm going to continue to make records that I believe are good, and hopefully you guys will too.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.